Did sell out the last day it was on the air, April 15th. So we got more in. We're excited about it. 3 easy pays at $7.87 will get it home. They call it their good luck Oriental Totem pole, and obviously 10,000 of you have loved it in the past. That's why we rushed it back in. This one, Steph, has a beautiful family history with your dad and your granddad in the World's Fair, I understand.
Actually, Pat, it was my great-grandmother. Her name was Sylvia, and in the World's Fair in New York City in 1964, she brought this totem pole. You know, that was kind of the first plant that our family has ever sold. But back then, you know, the trunk that she was selling was only about the size of a quarter. So you can see from the 1964 to today, the plant that you will be receiving is significantly larger because these are growing in our fields for up to 20 years before we harvest them to then ship them to homes around the country.
Wait a minute. You are growing them 20 years. You know, when I was going to say that a little bit earlier, I stopped and said, I wonder if I have that right. That's a long time to invest.
It's a long time.
Before it even gets shipped out to us. So What are we talking about? Because this is one, I think this is so seriously cool.
It is. It's a fun little science project that you can do with your whole family. You know, I can guarantee every one of the Wallians has grown at least 5 of these in our lifetime because they're so near and dear to our heart and because they're so fun. So as you see, Pat, each side of the totem pole is going to have wax. One end is kind of a reddish brown and one is the green. The green is where the leaves are going to come out. So you're not going to touch that side. Just leave it as it is and then flip it over. And if we can come back to my home screen really quick, I just wanted to explain. This reddish brown wax, you're going to actually just gently scrape it off with a butter knife.
Okay.
It's really simple. I've already kind of started, but you're just going to take a butter knife. You don't have to be very exact. You just want to get, you know, a good shaving off. And once you start to see the wood, you're going to grab a container, fill it with about 2 to 3 inches of water, and just plop it in there.
Okay.
And you're going to leave it in this container. You want to change the water about every 2 to 3 days, and just leave it on your kitchen counter, your dining room table. Doesn't matter where, and in about 6 weeks, you're going to start to see little sprouts coming out of the side of your trunk. Once you start to see the sprouts, that's the time to know that you know, okay, let's take it out of the water and put it into some soil. So Pat, the plant that I have here, this has been in soil since about May. So you can see that it's already grown gorgeous, the gorgeous variegated, the two-tone leaves, they're just striking. And the plant similarly in front of you, that's also, we started both of these at the end of the spring season. So that's about, you know, 3-ish months in the soil, or since the time that we put it in the water.
Pretty.
And they grow just stunning. And it's super fun to watch because you're going to start it in the water and you're kind of rehydrating it. And once you put it in the soil, then things really start to take off.
I mean, this for a gardener is just something to delight in. And if you've got kids and grandkids and, you know, listen, we have all grown, like maybe you grew, you know, potatoes in a jar with water or carrots, you know, when you were a kid.
Totally.
This is the adult version of that, which is so fun.
This is the new and improved. Yes.
So, go ahead, honey.
I was just going to say, you know, similarly to the other houseplant collection that I had presented before, Pat, this is a beautiful build to ship to every family member, you know, in your family, because it's kind of my Uncle Court likes to say, like, between him and my dad and Uncle Eric, they would always have a little competition amongst themselves. Who's is going to grow fastest? And they would send each other photos. So, you know, it's just a fun little thing to connect the family together.
I love it. That's such a great idea. Well, 10,000 already have been ordered. We're going to go and get something like this. I will also remind you, because I've been mentioning it, the Roberta's Bounty All-Purpose Plant Food is sort of your insurance policy, and we've got it at a great sale price. So definitely go ahead and restock or pick it up for the very first time. You also give us, and I know that you put a lot into the growing guides. So if you are someone, maybe you're sending these to your kids or your grandkids, maybe you're going to bring it into your classroom if you're a teacher or into work.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right? Wouldn't that be great? Do you need a lot of sun? What kind of soil? And I see 2 different size pots.
Yeah, so great question. You know, that's what makes a totem pole so family friendly and kid friendly as well, because they're super easy to take care of. You can grow these in your basement, you know. It's kind of like the classic man cave plant. You know, we have some in our basement down here, but also in your kitchen where you have nice ambient light. It's not a very picky plant. And as far as water, it's super drought tolerant. So you only need to water it about 2 to 3 times a month, and it's just going to live happy in its container. And once we go back to the set, here you can see my brother with his personal collection at his home. And the one that he's holding, that trunk is very, very thick. And you made a good point before, Pat, like where could you find these elsewhere? You know, if you did go to a big box store or a specialized houseplant store, likely the totem poles that you find there are going to be much, much skinnier. So you're going to be starting off with a much younger plant, one that's not quite as healthy. So why not just start with something, you know, that we've been growing for 20 years in our fields, and then once we know that it's time to harvest, we'll do that and we get them ready to ship to everybody's home.
Very cool. Veronica is on the line. Hi, Veronica.
Cool.
Welcome. You're on the air with Steph and Pat.
That is very nice. I love watching you in the morning time. And I just ordered the allium. And
did you?
I have a king fat plant. It's huge. And next spring, I'm going to have the allium planted to the side of the king fat. And I think it'll be a beautiful spring array.
You sound like
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, you sound like quite a gardener, Veronica.
I've had a Roberta plant before, and they're very hardy. They're full, and they're exactly what they say they are.
Well, Veronica, we are so glad that you're here this morning. We are super thrilled that you're here and that we have an opportunity to kind of garden in the fall on QVC this year. So thank you so very much. And feel free to share your pictures. And, you know, brag. You can share them with me, share them with the Wallines. Roberta's online. We'd love to be able to see all of your beautiful garden.
Okay, thank you very much, and you have a wonderful, blessed day today.
You too, Veronica. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
800 of you have already dialed in. You know, when I look at this, and obviously be careful where you put this with your pets and your kids. I mean, you don't want them gnawing on this either. But how cool would this be in your office? Like,
absolutely.
How much are those faux trees? And now they have beautiful faux trees. I'm with you there. But this is real. And all you have to do, what did you say, like twice a month?
Yeah, 2 to 3 times a month you're going to water a Pat. So it's almost just as easy to take care of as a faux tree. Honestly, they're super low maintenance.
Look
and
how
that's
pretty.
Actually a really great idea. Maybe your kids just graduated from college and they're going to start their new job, and you know, they have a nice work from home space that they want to add some plant life to. This is a wonderful idea for that because it's not going to need a lot of water, and it's just going to, you know, plants, they truly clean the air. They allow for you to have like a nice de-stressor. I love spending some time with my plants when I'm feeling a little bit anxious. Just, you know, taking care of something is also just a really important important thing to do and to share with everybody.
Yeah, you know, that's a really nice way to look at it. And they're so interesting. You know, I feel so exotic when I'm looking at this, you know, the way the way that the bark is on the trunk and how thick it is and the massive leaves and how they just come out, and I don't know, it looks like some kind of ancient tree. It's just really cool.
And it kind of is, Pat, because again, these are cuttings from our trees that are growing for decades in the fields, and that's what makes the totem pole so unique. Is as you see here in this image, the foliage is a glossy, bi-colored, striped leaf. I love the chartreuse, the bright chartreuse in the middle, kind of flanked by a darker evergreen, and it is a very tropical-looking plant. But again, it doesn't require that the tropical environment, so you don't need to be out watering your plants every day. Just leave it in your basement, on your desk. Maybe keep it at the office where you're going to be gone during the weekends, and then you're going to come back and it's going to look as good as new.
You know, I was thinking, Steph, maybe what you do is buy a couple of these. You get it started for family and friends, follow the directions, and then it'd be, you know, buy a nice pot, and then you gift it at around Thanksgiving, or you gift it during the holidays. So good.
I love that idea, Pat.
Right? And it's good luck. So we all need to be able to share that with the people we love. All right. Steph, before you go, will you talk to us about your Gotta Grow guarantee, please?